So I have talked about meditation as being a way of producing confidence, more subtle. And I talked about meditation as being separate from Christianity and the Eastern one mind. And I've also talked about three types of meditation, or three ways that I do it, which is using my imagination, thanksgiving and forgiveness, and also clearing my mind, or concentrating on one thing so I can just watch my thoughts. And that way my mind just clears or calms down. So three types of meditations. So on that note, I want to talk about imagination now, being one of those three. So with imagination, what I want to do is I want to calm my body down. And I guess I should say the reason why I would use imagination or any of these. And I'll go into thanksgiving and forgiveness more in another video, and also clearing my mind or watching the thoughts, which I always thought was pretty odd, but it makes more sense to me now. But with imagination, you know, when you were a little kid, you had an imagination, and it was a waking imagination. You know, you pretended you were playing with your doll, or with a bicycle, or traveling, going to a different land, being at the beach, whatever. But what I'm talking about is going into my future. So I want to produce my future, and I want to know what I want. And so this is what I mean by imagination. And I've heard different takes on it, looking at a screen or seeing yourself doing it. But the one that made most sense to me was putting myself in that place of actually doing it. It's like a rehearsal, an athlete's rehearsal of the thing they're going to do, playing basketball, shot put, for track and field, whatever. But I put myself in that place. So I might put myself in the place of filming, or I might put myself in the place of being congratulated for doing such a great job at filming, or having 2 million views. But the point is, the thing I want to experience or to have, or the place I want to go, is I imagine myself in it. I am in it. I am personally experiencing. I'm experiencing myself in my house that I want, walking from room to room, using all my senses, in fact, seeing the walls, hearing the sounds outside, maybe smelling the smells, things like this, and feeling it, really feeling and enjoying it. What this does, I'm told, Neville Goddard is somebody I really pay attention to, but there are others, Joe Dispenza, etc., even Tony Robbins, I think, is that you put yourself in that place, you experience it fully, and this builds new neural pathways. And then what I want to do is I want to feel it. It's very important to feel it. All this has to do, in my opinion, with faith and believing, really believing. Like I'm dead set on this happening, really believing. Mark 11:24 in the Bible talks about if you pray and you believe, then your prayer is answered. So you might not see it answered, but the prayer is answered. It's coming. It's answered. God is bringing it. And so it's answered. And so, not to repeat myself, but so now what I want to do is put myself in that place of having it. That is a form of prayer. That's the imagination. And the prayer is being answered. And now I'm giving thanks for it also. Thankfulness. And that's another video, but thankfulness is a form of receiving. It allows for receiving. Gratitude strengthens it. And then trust in God that it's happening. So these are all form a part of using my imagination to create my future to create my future reality, and to create it, bring it in now. And then of course I would go out with that belief in mind. I would go out and assume that it's happening. Be that person who got the car. If I wanted a car, know the car is coming. What am I going to do now? I'm going to live in the expectation that's coming, and I'm going to prepare for it. I've prayed for it, I know it's coming, I've given thanks, I've imagined it. And this is also repetition involved. It's not, I believe it's not just one time, and the Bible even talks about praying repeatedly, asking repeatedly. There are chapters in the Bible, the woman asked the judge repeatedly to be heard. the man asked repeatedly to his neighbor for bread for his visitor. So you ask repeatedly for these things. And then, but you also get thanksgiving before it happens. So you do these things, like going back to repetition, you might do it, I do it like night and day, morning and night, right after I wake up and right before I go to bed. I do it for 5-6 weeks if need be. Sometimes they can appear in 5 days or whatever, short amount of time, and other times it might take a year, it might take 5 years, but I would continue to repeat it because in faith of knowing it's coming. So I know we're not taught all of this. We're not taught to be thankful. Like when Jesus went on the mountain and fed the 5,000, he thanked God before he fed the 5,000. And Lazarus too, he thanked God before, if I remember correctly, before bringing Lazarus to life. So you thank God before. We're accustomed to thanking after. But relearn this, reteach yourself this, to be thankful before you actually see it. So don't trust your eyes, don't trust your hearing necessarily of things that don't prove it's happening because they're limited. But you give thanks before because you know it's coming. You know it. And that's what's so great. There's a reteaching of, I know it's coming, I'm thankful now before I even see it. Thank you. Y'all take care, have a good one. And I'll talk to you soon. I'll bring up the other two, Thanksgiving and forgiveness, more about them. And also watching your thoughts in videos to come. Enjoyed it. Have a good day. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.